Hello everybody, welcome to Unapologetically Blessing, where we stay unapologetic. Blessing Dumi is my name and I welcome you all to this channel. Please do well to subscribe and click the notification button to always stay notified for every content we upload. Today we are going to be talking about my scholarship journey, and for more context, I am a Mastercard Foundation Scholar at the African Leadership College in Mauritius, which is in accreditation with the Glasgow Caledonian University. In essence, I study at two universities, in a way. Yeah, it's a complicated something, but yeah, that's just it. So stay tuned as I take you through my sponsor here in ALC/GCU. Awesome. So let's get down to story time. My scholarship journey literally began right when I was in secondary school or high school, and I had always known persons who had scholarships abroad, so it wasn't a myth to me. Unlike other persons like my parents, they found it as a myth for someone to just, sponsor your school fees of about millions somewhere abroad. Okay, so many people thought it was a scam and all that. But my elder sister belonged to an organization called Open Dreams. So while I was still in my junior classes in secondary school, I knew about Open Dreams. And so I already knew and some sort of arranged or paved or had a vision of how my path into getting into Open Dreams is going to look like. However, in high school, when I was in Yaoundé, I got enlightened about Open Dreams. I got enlightened about Open Dreams once again because we do outreach programs during or before the summer for the summer academy. But during that outreach, I wasn't reached to because I was in lower seats, and so the day they came to our school, Mervi Baliwa Grammar School in Yaoundé, I was in my lower seat class attending my classes, and those who were in upseats had the lessons or the enlightenment kind of classes, right? And so for me, I just got informed by some of my seniors whom I was very close with, or whom I was very close with. And so because of that closeness, I was in contact with them almost every time. So even after we had the GC advanced levels and left for our different universities in Cameroon, I was still in contact with them. A great shout out to you, Clara Fobuzo, who is currently a Mastercard Foundation Scholar as well at the HSC University in Ghana. And so for me, moving throughout this whole period of after my GCE life, I really didn't attend the Open Dreams Summer Academy. And that was because, I was so overwhelmed with the work I had to do at the university. As a newbie, you want to attend all your classes, you just want to stay so focused, right? But at some point after the very first semester, I realized that I actually belonged to Open Dreams because almost everybody on my contact list, as someone who just left high school, belong to Open Dreams, right? And so I always go see them there. Sometimes my sister is going to take me to the Open Dreams Center, but I always feel everyone there seems like a nerd. Well, that was not the case. And another thing too that kind of caused me to just stay on my zone and not want to engage in Open Dreams was the fact that at that time we didn't have so many scholars who were into the whole business or accounting related careers. And so I feel like, oh no, this is a place for science nerds, so don't even include yourself. But one thing which drew me closer to Open Dreams, even while at the university, was the whole aspect of volunteerism. They carry out a whole lot of volunteering activities, and so I really loved volunteering. I really do love volunteering, even as of now. And so I always engaged in those activities, the Aviva program, and that time, I think that the 2020 was the year they just began that. And so, mind you, all this university beginning, joining Open Dreams was in 2019. So that's literally how I became an Open Dreams scholar. An Open Dreams pre-scholar, yeah, at that time. Pre-scholar. So that's how I became an Open Dreams pre-scholar. And as an Open Dreams pre-scholar, it just join the groups and you're engaging in the activities. I didn't even bother about the Zoom sessions. I didn't even know what Zoom was. I didn't even understand what the whole Google package was. So even when they talk about Google Meets, Google Docs, at that time, when you talk about Google Docs, I know it's Microsoft Word. It's a Microsoft Word document. So I believe we all know that those are two different stuff. But yeah, that was just it for me at that time. So let's get on to talk about when I received the link. So while in these groups, we tend to receive application links to different scholarship opportunities, masters, undergrad, for fellowships as well. And mind you, I was never just interested in any of these things because I just wanted to be that serious student in the University of Bamenda in HICA. Yes. I just wanted to be that serious student. And one fateful day, we received a link for ALU. At that time, when you're applying for ALU, you choose either the Mauritius campus or the Rwanda campus. And so the program I wanted to pursue was in the Mauritius campus. Others were so excited about visiting new place and stuff like that. But that was really a thing for me. Whatever, just that let me go and pursue what I want to pursue. Okay, so when the link came in, I was encouraged to apply, and mind you, that was my very first application. Yes, that was my very first application. After my mom had registered me for another application to, I think it's the Hong Kong School of Business. She had paid the application fee of about 60 USD through another person, all these other organizations. I was like, oh, I've mentored students and they have gone to these schools, but you just have to deposit this. Yes, those are application fees and they are required for some schools, but this other opportunity or Open Dreams is unique in that they tend to direct you to those schools where your application fee is waived. Okay, it's waived away. Like you have the application fee waiver. All right. So that's what really kept me going with the ALU application. Yeah. So for the Hong Kong School of Business, I just left that one day. I just left that one day and pushed ahead with ALU because I was never interested in, writing. I've never loved writing. Like before, I didn't like writing. And so that was it about appreciating the link, taking the link and, clicking on that link to start applying. Clicking that link, the application process was not that rigorous, if I must say, as compared to other universities, as I've heard from my peers in USIU, Ashesi, and what other universities, University of Edinburgh, and many other universities, right? The application was not that rigorous because one, we didn't have interviews. Yes, we didn't have interviews. Number two, we just had essays to write, and I think the essay you have to write are why you want to do what, the normal questions, right, guys? Why you want to do what you want to do in ALC, and also for the financial aid part of it, which at that time wasn't Mastercard. Guys, when I say my name is Blessing, it's Blessing. Yes, let's get to it. Which at that time was no Mastercard. It was just a fully funded scholarship just there here at ALC for people known as refugees, or people from the less privileged background, or someone who has lost either one or two parents. And so yeah, that was it for me. So I head on to write an essay to prove that you are in need of this scholarship, because mind you, it was a need-based scholarship and not a merit-based scholarship. So with that, I wrote the essays, and now on to the point of mentorship. Guys, I'm pained at that part. It will shock you that I didn't have a mentor right up to my second year here at ALC, and the mentor wasn't even for scholarship purposes. It's just like a life mentor and something like that. Yeah, lifestyle mentor, kind of. And so back then, with the way we teach students now, and we join open gyms now, and you're being like assigned a mentor, the mentor follows you up, or you write any AC, and the mentor has to review, give you feedback, you inculcate, you go back and forth, you have a whole lot of people to reach out to. That was not it for me. Mind you, I was just not really outgoing at that time under the Open Dreams organization. I was just interested in the volunteerism aspect of it. So upon applying, I was using my phone. Yes, I used my phone to apply, wrote the essays, typed on my the note app on the phone, and copy and pasted on the application portal. So for us, we had a portal. You create an account on that portal and you copy paste your essays and respond to the very questions there. And so when we went through that, for my mentor, I didn't have. And so even this other person that my mom was reaching out to help me process all the scholarship stuff at the HSBU, that's a Hong Kong business school, the person who sent me the ALU application link, that's after I had even started applying. But because I was someone who was not really vulnerable to him, I didn't even want to talk. I was just like, let's just follow our mother and just be going, so as to avoid problems. I just said, okay, at this point I've written essays already, can you please help me review? Mind you guys, that was like about a month to the application deadline. But this man happened to reach out to me back regarding those essays, telling me he was even busy. He reached out 3 days to the deadline. And I've just always been that person who does not like submitting assignments or tasks on the deadline. Like, it doesn't work for me. That's in exceptional cases where probably I was informed late about the assignment, or there could be exceptional cases, but this was not just it. I wrote all my essays and I was just waiting for a review. And since he didn't reach out, I concentrated on my other activities, and 3 days to the deadline, he was like, oh, he has been busy, but he's going to find time to review them. Let me make sure not to submit until he reviews this stuff. So I waited 2 days, you say nothing. The last day, man, you say nothing. I just went on ahead. At times I was somehow mad. I just went on ahead and posted the stuff there. Posted everything, like every essay I had written. I just posted it there. Even when I look back now to those essays, I'm like, I don't know. Bless you, you didn't write this. If I was the admissions officer, I won't admit you. Honestly, I won't admit you. It was that bad. A whole lot of typos, grammatical errors, wrong sentence structures. It was just that bad. I didn't even know what I was saying. Like, there was just no context to what I was saying in that essay. But there was no one to review, unfortunately for me. Anyways, so yeah, that was it. No one to review, but I submitted. And when I just saw that whole submission tick, thank you for sending in your your application, you're going to review and get back to you. That was a strange feeling for me, because unlike when I used to get other post stories, like they've submitted 40 applications, someone like they submitted 20, I'm like, you guys, that was so much silly. I mean, I did not have that feel. That was my first time to see the whole submission stuff. And after submitting, I was just so much, because I didn't even expect to get it. Yeah, I didn't expect to get it. So I went on my activities. That was it. And so back now to after submission, that was like in September. And now on to, I think that was September, November, December, January, they didn't reach out. And February, when I managed to go to Yaoundé too, was it February or January? I don't know. Yeah, it was December rather, when I went to Open Dreams in Yaoundé. I went to write my SAT exams just for, at that point, I was just trying to follow everything my mom was saying. And she was like, just take the SAT, since those are one of the criteria we explained to her as that's on university stake. I wasn't willing to, but she was willing to sponsor me for it. And, that just shows how much she loves me though. Mommy, I love you too. Yeah, so she sponsored me for my SAT, and when I went on to write the SAT under Open Dreams in Yaoundé, that day, I almost didn't write the SAT. Yes, like I was told to go home. Why? Your half card or your picture which was submitted on the website wasn't appropriate. I'm like, I don't understand. That's where I got the whole essence of following dimensions when taking, visa shots or pictures, like all these half card pictures. Yes, all these portrait pictures. The way I am seated now, I think this is what they wanted. But the way my picture was, it went beneath my boss. But according to me, those days I didn't know these things, right? So that's just what I did. And so when I sent the picture and it was uploaded on the SAT application portal, they didn't just want to allow me to write that day. They had started writing the SAT exams. They had gone into the halls, and I was just outside. I was like, so I'll leave Bamenda, come to Yaoundé. I'm not ready SAT exams after I've spent money. This is not happening. At that point, I called the Open Dreams country director, and I don't know what they did. That's like they say, have Godfather though. Have Godfather, child. And after that, they kind of rectified the whole issue. That was just him pushing for it to be rectified. All this Godfather thing is just someone who can push for something to be done for you. Yeah, not necessarily paying. Okay, so they didn't pay anything. He just pushed and insisted that the correction be made, and it was made. I wrote my SAT, went back home, and in, I think, is it February? January, February. Okay, that was December, then January, February, March, April, and then May. This, mind you, ALO didn't reach out to me before this. Okay, in May, they now said May 2020. Yeah, May 2020. They now reached out to me. May 2020, they reached out to me. That time, it was like days, like very, very few days after my senior brother's wedding. And so I was just in the house, just around, still welcoming guests who were coming to salute us for the successful wedding, just gisting, wedding vibes still happening. And so these visitors came into the house. As they came in, they were seated. And my mom, I just happened to go inside my room. And when I stepped into the room, I was like, oh, this email thing, someone just sent a reminder into the Open Dreams group at that time for pre-scholars. You guys should make sure to check your emails at every point in time. He was just giving his advice. Little did you know he was talking to me directly. And I didn't even take note of the time the decisions are going to come out. And I could open my email. Lo and behold, congratulations, blessed. I was like, excuse me. And I said, and you're like, you have been granted conditional admission into into ALU in the ALC Mauritius campus. I don't know if I still have that email, but I'm going to look for it somewhere. Yeah, because as I now use school emails. That's a privilege you get to gain, right? A new email domain that you get to use. And so upon reading that, I woke up from the chair I was sitting on in my room. I was like, God. And again, Mauritius campus. Are you sure? I'm not sure. And then they listed that, okay, just go onto your portal now. You can optionally upload your SAT results. SAT results have come out that time. And I had good grades, but not one of the top as compared to those in Open Dreams, but they were very good grades. And also, what else? I had to upload my transcript. That was the point. I had to upload transcript. And did I have to upload the recommendation letter? I'm not sure. I did have to. Yeah, all those documents, your results at that point. And also there was a letter if you were a minor that's under 18. If you're under 18, you have to cause your parents to sign it. And then the letter now, which shows that you have accepted this scholarship. Okay, mind you, at that time it's still not a Mastercard Foundation scholarship. Oh guys, this video is becoming so long. Okay, we are definitely going to have a part 2, so stay tuned.